am Dominus Cinephile.
Welcome to my movie and TV series reviews, where I will provide honest opinions of the latest releases. If the movie or TV series is a hit or a miss, be sure to know I will inform you. But if the movie or series is trash, be also sure to know that I will trash the hell out of the movie. I am Dominus Cinephile.
And the movie on the review table today is the Nollywood film Adire. Adire is written by Kenneth Opukeme, Mimi Bartels, and Stephen Oluboyo, and directed by Adeoluwa. The movie features notable Nollywood actors, including Kehinde Bankole, Funlola Aofiyebi-Raimi, Yvonne Jegede, Yemi Blaq, Femi Branch, Ifeanyi Kalu, Kelechi Udegbe, Afolarin, Idowu Phillips, and Damilola Ogunsi. The movie narrates the story of a retired prostitute on the run who relocates to a small town and initiates a lingerie-making business using her signature Adire fabric. This endeavor unintentionally empowers the conservative women in the town, leading to frustration from the self-appointed leader, the deaconess and wife of the local church preacher. Along the way, she discovers the most unexpected friendships and love in unlikely places. However, her newfound paradise is disrupted by Captain, her former pimp, whose money she had stolen to kickstart her new life. Adire premiered in Nigerian cinemas on November 3, 2023, marking Film One's inaugural release of an original movie by the entertainment studio. Prior to its premiere, a private screening was held on October 6, 2023, with the customary presence of Nollywood stars and the movie's cast, elegantly adorned in the best Adire attire, capturing the attention of Nollywood paparazzi. Unfortunately, I missed the movie's premiere last year due to the lack of significant buzz surrounding it. However, thanks to Netflix, I had the peculiar opportunity to watch it yesterday, and oh boy, was I utterly disappointed. How can a film be so lackluster and absurd? This movie exuded all the negative aspects one could imagine in a film production. Let me officially begin by stating that many aspects of this movie lacked coherence. It seems as if the writers and directors struggled to define the narrative or convey it effectively. It's incredibly frustrating to witness directors producing such subpar films in contemporary Nollywood. Equally disheartening is the fact that scriptwriters and screenwriters are still producing such unrefined and unintelligent scripts in this day and age. The story in this movie was absurdly scattered. Let me begin by assessing some of the actors' performances before delving into the storyline and plots. Kehinde Bankole takes on the lead role in this movie, portraying the prostitute who pilfered from her pimp to embark on a new life. Unfortunately, her portrayal of a call girl or prostitute lacked believability, and the narrative surrounding her character was feeble and uninspiring, leaving numerous unanswered questions from the writers and director of this movie. What motivated her to steal from her lover, the pimp? From the movie's start, there was no indication that she disliked the life she led. Rather than being a subordinate, she seemed more like a partner and lover to the pimp, Captain, despite using the term slave in the movie to describe her relationship with him. The initial scenes in this poorly executed and irksome movie involving her, Captain, and a potential client were feeble, accompanied by some of the most lackluster acting I have ever witnessed. The dialogue lacked variety, delivering a monotone and lifeless performance. Yemi Blaq takes on the role of Captain, the boss and pimp to Adire, Kehinde Bankole. He epitomizes the most useless and brainless villain I have ever encountered in a movie, accompanied by acting that was neither here nor there. His performance stood out as the weakest among the cast, marked by feeble lines that often lacked any coherent sense. His portrayal raises questions about the writer's thought process when crafting his character. Nothing about his role came across as believable for a villain. In simple terms, the dude can't act to save his life. Femi Branch portrays a pastor and the husband to Funlola Aofiyebi-Raimi's character. His character's performance was inconsistent, and the lines or dialogue failed to elevate the overall essence of his role. especially considering he possesses one of the best voices in Nollywood. The pastor's character lacked memorability, and the same can be said for his acting. Funlola Aofiyebi-Raimi's character and acting stood out to some extent. Her mannerisms and overall performance made sense in certain aspects of the movie. However, I had a significant concern with her diction. While I comprehend that her character had a good education, the excessive use or attempt to sound British didn't resonate well with me. The fact that she was transitioning in and out of her British accent to sound normal at times was amusing, and I believe some viewers might share the same sentiment. Kelechi Udegbe's acting was commendable, and I was impressed with his portrayal of a comical Yoruba character. On the flip side, Ifeanyi Kalu's acting fell short. His character's essence was confusing, and his performance lacked believability, especially for someone seeking love after the loss of his wife. There was a noticeable absence of chemistry between his character and Kehinde Bankole's character. Their on-screen presence together felt weak and unconvincing. The entire structure of this movie is saturated with plot holes and unnecessary scenes. The director seemed preoccupied with amalgamating different stories to craft something impactful, but, unfortunately, ended up producing a baseless and meaningless piece. For instance, the question arises, why did Adire steal only a handful of cash from Captain when she could have taken the entire briefcase? Throughout the movie, there was no indication that she disliked the arrangement she had with Captain. The narrative of running away to start a new life lacked a solid foundation, rendering it nonsensical. As you attempt to fathom what is happening in one scene, different plots and scenarios are thrust in your face with little or no explanations. Questions arise, such as how did Captain figure out where Adire was? How do you justify that merely seeing one of his girls wearing a similar bra that Adire makes gave him an idea of where to find her? In a movie filled with numerous convoluted plots and characters, there was minimal to no backstory provided for most of the characters. Meanwhile, what was all that nonsense happening towards the end of the movie? After Captain, aka the feeble villain, finds and captures Adire, we are thrust into one of the most absurd plots I have ever witnessed in a movie. Instead of taking her away to their original base of operations, as any sensibly common villain would do, he imprudently stays in the town and shifts his operation there. Adire is then reintroduced to the same client who desired her at the beginning of the movie. The entire sequence, from the beginning to the end, featuring all three characters, was merely a setup to reveal their intention to use Adire's bras for money laundering. If that is the case, why didn't the client express anger towards Captain when the initial set of cash he provided for laundering turned out to be the same cash Adire stole? Why would he still want to engage in business with Captain, considering the failure of their initial transaction? The entire plot was a weak and irritating narrative. The fight scene between Adire and Captain that led to his demise was simply a laughable piece of nonsense. Captain grabs her by the neck and pins her to the wall. Adire struggles to break free, and suddenly she hits him on the head with a pressing iron that wasn't there before. Common sense would dictate that the director should have shot the scene by first showing a shot of the pressing iron and then a shot of Adire attempting to reach it. There's a multitude of issues with this feeble movie, but at this point, I'm just exhausted because what I watched was essentially an insult to my intelligence. In the span of a 2-hour movie, numerous opportunities in the narrative and execution were overlooked. Sound and cinematography were subpar, providing nothing noteworthy to write home about. In summary, Adire is a mishmash of different plots poorly woven together in a poorly executed movie, marred by a weak script with dialogues that appear as if a 5-year-old wrote them. Most of the actors did little to elevate the movie or their characters' on-screen presence. This movie is as bad as they come from a Nollywood production. And now for my rating. Adire scores a disappointing 2 out of 10. I'm definitely trashing this. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, WhatsApp channel, and Instagram at Dominus Cinephile for more movie and TV series reviews. Dominus Cinephile, signing out.